Today, we're going to dig into Elon Musk's journey.
Okay.
Using insights from Musk, failure, success, and future missions, our aim. To sort of unpack what makes him tick, The drive, the failures, the wins.
Right. So where do we start? What do you see as the core motivation behind these huge projects?
Well, it really feels like it's more than just making money. There's this intense focus on tackling what he views as fundamental human challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Things like sustainable energy with Tesla or, making humanity multiplanetary with SpaceX, they feel like missions.
Yeah, exactly. It's that deep internal drive, right?
Yeah.
Solving the problem itself is the reward. And that kind of motivation, helps you push through the tough stuff.
And there's definitely been tough stuff. Failure seems almost baked into the process for him.
Oh, absolutely. So how does he handle those setbacks? Because there have been quite a few.
Yeah, you just look at early SpaceX. Remember all those failed launches, one after another.
Right. Most people would have probably just stopped.
Yeah, but they didn't. It seems like each explosion was almost seen as, a data point, a learning moment.
That's the fascinating part, isn't it? That iterative process. It wasn't defeat. It was, okay, what went wrong?
Let's analyze it.
Exactly. Analyze it, fix it super fast, and go again. Every failure, like those early engine problems, directly fed into making the next version better.
Which eventually led to their big successes in landing and reusing rockets.
Yeah, and that resilience obviously paid off.
Mm-hmm.
So what successes really highlight his impact, would you say?
Well, just the fact that Tesla and SpaceX are such major players now is pretty remarkable.
It really is. Tesla didn't just make electric cars. They kind of forced the whole auto industry to shift, built out charging.
The whole ecosystem, yeah.
Right. And SpaceX, they completely changed the game in space launch with reusability. Made it cheaper, more accessible.
Something a lot of people thought wasn't really feasible, especially for a private company.
Definitely. Landing those Falcon 9 boosters back on Earth, that's a very visible symbol of that shift.
So looking forward then, this is where it gets really interesting. What are the big missions now? The future stuff?
Well, based on everything he says and where the companies are heading, Mars is still the huge one for SpaceX. Colonization.
Still the main goal?
Seems like it. And Starship is, the vehicle for that dream. Then on the Tesla side, it's pushing sustainable energy for their batteries. Solar.
Expanding that ecosystem.
Exactly. And then you've got other things like Neuralink, the brain-computer interface stuff. Also incredibly ambitious.
So if we pull all this together, the drive, the failures, the wins, the future plans, what are the main takeaways here?
I think a few key things stand out. One is just sheer resilience. You have to be able to take the hits and keep going.
Okay.
Second, the power of having a really big, ambitious goal. That seems to be a massive motivator.
Right. Something beyond the ordinary.
Yeah. And third, just that constant push to innovate, to learn, to adapt, never really standing still.
Resilience, big vision, constant learning, quite a mix. So maybe for you listening, the thought is, how can that apply to you? That willingness to maybe embrace failure as learning, to chase a vision that feels compelling. What big challenges out there might be worth tackling, even if they seem, impossible at first?
Good question to ponder.
Indeed. Thanks for diving deep with us today.